A memorial ceremony is held by occupation officials in Crimea for Russian soldiers killed in action. Ceremonies like this, as well as public information derived from obituaries in the local media, give independent sources like the opposition media outlet Mediazona precious tidbits of information. Those added up to a figure of 50,000 Russian soldiers killed in action during these 2 years of war. Their investigation was based on open-source intelligence with the hope of shedding light on facts the Kremlin has kept hidden, at least among the sources it can control.
You need to know which open sources are very difficult to influence by any state. So new graveyards is something that you can't deny. If you make satellite imagery of new graveyards that weren't there a year ago, that's pretty objective, isn't it?
Some observers believe the figures this research has yielded are much lower than the real ones. Russian society, they say, no longer uses social networks to talk about political or military issues as freely as they did a decade ago. Access to information is much more limited now than it was in 2014.
10 years ago, people were more open. There were much fewer people who kept their pages closed and not accessible to outsiders. It was possible to open the page of practically anyone and see what kind of life he or she led.
Kyiv, for its part, has given an official death toll, although that too is questioned by some. President Volodymyr Zelensky in February said 31,000 Ukrainian soldiers have died since the start of the full-scale invasion, but that figure has also not been verified. Russia's tactics have been dubbed by some as equivalent to a, quote, meat grinder, unquote. Despite mounting evidence of extremely high casualties, they see no sign that Moscow will change the way it is fighting the war.
In Russia's tactics of assault, we've seen over and over again that just throwing bodies into the firing line counts as valid tactics as far as Russia is concerned. If they throw in more bodies than Ukraine has bullets, then they win.
Russia shows no intention of clearing the fog of disinformation on its casualty figures or on the realities that its soldiers are living in the battlefields of Ukraine. For Ricardo Marquina, Elizabeth Cherneff, VOA News.